Yep. So here we are, back with another ep. I'm here with my boy K Mo per usual.
Word,
And before we get started, what's the word, man? How we feeling?
man. Feeling all right, man. This team has it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, man, with this team for the past couple of weeks or a week or two. See, it
hmm
feels like it's been 2 weeks. Feels like
It
it's
feels
been
like it's been a month.
yeah, it feels like it's been a long time dealing with this team, man. But it's only realistically been a week and some change. Um, but yeah, man, we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna get into to how I feel about the moves and everything. And I think you know, we had a lot of cap space, have a decent amount of holes, so it's easy to say we could have went out there and spent a whole bunch of money. I don't always think that's the best move. However, I do think we could have done more than we did, definitely. So that's my initial thoughts on free agency so far.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that, as fans, especially Charger fans, bro, we're starving. We're starving. And, with all the money we have and everything, as a fan, you want them to go out and spend crazy money and make, the dopamine. You want to get signings in there and all of that good stuff. Now, I don't think the moves are as bad as what, people are making it out to be. However, we could have done, I think, a little more. But, we'll get into all that. But yeah, so we just got the free agency grades and how free agency has went so far for us, like what we think, and then how we think we can improve on that, and then what that's going to mean in April, because April is how the draft is how the Chargers have always made their money. Like we notoriously draft decently well. So you know, so let's just get it popping. So we got the first signing was Tyler Biadish. I might be butchering his name, but you
That's
know,
how you say it, yeah. Be honest.
we obviously needed a center. 2 years of rough center play, and we went and got one. How do you feel about it?
I like it. I think he's a good center. I mean, you got him for what was it, 10, $11 million a year, something like
I
that.
believe so. Cap
And
hit first year is like four M's.
right, you're not gonna get a better deal than that for a good a good center. I'm not saying he's the best center in the league. I'm not saying he's a top three center, but he's a good, solid center, and that's realistically all that we needed. I mean, to go from worst center in the league, arguably, to to middle of the pack is gonna feel like a huge, huge upgrade. So I think that's one of my favorite value signings that we had 100%. So,
Yeah, I feel like it's a obviously a great scheme fit for what McDaniel wants to do, and very athletic. He's not no role grader, but very athletic. And I just think he's gonna fit what we want to do here. And for example, like his cap hit this year is four M's, so I'm assuming there's some type of outs in the contract, whatever the case may be, if things go crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, like I'll grade this signing off rip, especially you know Jordan teasing them, man. They love hitting us over the head with the comp formulas and all this good stuff. He got cut, so he doesn't count against the comp formulas and all that. So, I mean, I'll grade it a B. Me personally, I think,
Mhm.
and I think you said it a few episodes ago. It's like you're not gonna have all pro, all pro, all pro at every position. You need serviceable to good guys
Mhm.
at positions. And when you look at all the teams that win, you know, like not nobody has three all pro linemen. not that I can think off the top of my head. So, you have serviceable, good instead of shit, and dog shit, then we can actually do a little something.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I'll give it a B. What you
yeah.
giving it?
I'll give it an A, to be honest with you.
Fair?
I just think
Fair.
I just think it's because why like, what else were you gonna do? That was the best thing you could have done. Only other, like, realistically decent center, now I could be wrong, but I think the only other target that would have been there would because McGovern got re-signed early.
Mhm.
We would have had to pay him damn near 30
Tackle
games a
money.
year,
Tackle money.
and nobody wanna do that. So, I think, again, it doesn't count against the comp pick formula, which clearly they love. Um, we went out and got somebody solid for a $4 million cap hit the first year. I don't I really don't think they coulda did any better, with that position, especially considering that was a burning need for us. Uh, so I really like it. I'm happy with it. That's one of the few that I'm gonna be happy with, but I am pretty happy with that one.
Yeah. So next we got the tight end Charlie Kohler, and I know we talked about on our top free agents. We talked about a lot of other different tight ends. We didn't talk about Charlie Kohler. So how do you feel about the signing of Charlie Kohler?
That's another one of the few that I really liked as well. I think our tight end room was looking kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Uh, and I think they went out and got somebody that fits what they're trying to do. They call him a blocking tight end. That was kind of the headlines when he got signed. One of the highest paid blocking tight ends in the league, and he is a blocking tight end if we're being honest. But I feel like that's kind of downplaying his receiving ability, and he's not no slouch. He can run routes. He can catch the ball. He's not slow. That's not his primary skill set, but he can he can do a couple things in the receiving game, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's almost the perfect pair with Gadsden, because now you got somebody who can play the other tight end, other role of the tight end, which is blocking. Um, I mean, paid him.
Paid him good bread.
We paid him some good bread for a
Pretty good
tight end,
bread.
for somebody who's a tight end three. Now, again, he wasn't like a tight end three who, like anybody else's tight end three who didn't really see the field much. Like they used him
Yeah, they was in 13 a good amount.
a lot. So he's like, I wouldn't necessarily put that label on him like just tight end three. They just had a deep tight end room, and he was the one, with the smallest name, I guess you could say. But I don't know. I think that signing could go either really good or really bad, because I think it was like 24 for, what was it, 2 or 3? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could look amazing in 2 years that we had him on that deal, or it could look like, it's a little much. Um, but at the end of the day, I mean, I think I trust McDaniel, what he wants to do, and I would think that that's somebody he targeted. Uh, Said he wanted him really early. So, I mean, I'm happy with it overall. I think I'll give it a B.
Yeah. I'm along the same lines of you. Like, I think, you know, especially as fans, a lot of people think this is Madden, right? We could just go out here and put all these athletic tight ends out there and with no blocking ability, and we could just play football, and that's just not how football works. You need a tight end of this skill set if you want to run the football. Like, and I think it's uh upgrade on Will Disley, like tenfold. Like he's
100%.
just way more athletic than him. You know what I mean? So like you need a blocking tight end. He can do the inline stuff. Gaston could be your move tight end. And then I think in the draft you go get a developmental guy later, and then all of a sudden our tight end room is set.
Yeah.
You know, just in case you have a injury to one of these tight ends, the developmental guy can come on in, and then you know you do what you got to do. But the money doesn't. Yeah, we paid him good money, but he's a good player. Like so, and I don't have a problem with it at all. Like I said, I'll give it a B. I thought it was a good signing. It's not sexy, you know, but we have our pass catching tight end in Gadsden, and there's a lot of good ones in the draft, in my opinion. So you need a guy that's gonna block, but also if there's an injury to Gadsden, you have a tight end that's not. I'm sorry, Will Dissly, but you know what I mean. That's not super athletically, you know,
Challenge.
challenged. If if I say the least,
Yeah.
I don't know how Will Dissly broke so many tackles because it was looking peak out there for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought I think it's a fine signing. And then we'll move on to Dalvin Tomlinson, the defensive tackle from Arizona. What do you think about him?
I like that sign. To be honest, I mean, I know I said earlier in the video that it's only a few, you know, that I'm gonna be high on, and that's not necessarily true. I'll take that back because I like the guys we signed. I just don't think we did enough.
Yes.
Tomlinson, I mean, you get somebody who's stout, extremely stout in the run game, and I know he didn't have the best year last year, but go look at every year before that. Go look at every year before that. He's been really solid.
Go look at Arizona's defense in general.
Yeah, that's
They
bro, how are we gonna
were terrible. They're terrible. And then on top of that, everybody for Arizona got injured. And
Yeah.
I watched Arizona a lot because I had Trey McBride in fantasy, so I loved what they were doing on defense because they was getting toe up.
Yeah. Nah,
So
he's very stout. I mean, that's another depth signing, I guess, to kind of replace Deshaun Hand. But I think he's even more stout than he was.
yeah,
He's kind of immovable in the role he plays now. He's not going to be out there and passing downs. He's again the depth
yeah,
rotation. D lineman could play over. He could play nose. He could play 0-3. He's going to open up a lot of opportunities for backers in the run game. Just like I said, being somebody who's hard to move. Got him cheap, doesn't affect the comp formula. Those are the type of guys I think that you do take flyers on. He's been healthy. He's been really healthy his whole career.
durable. Yep.
Durable.
Yep.
So again, if you want to go off of PFF grades from last year when he's been good his whole career and he was on a terrible defense, that's on you. But but I'm gonna go off of the bigger sample size. Uh, and we're not signing him to come be a 3 down. Like it's a rotation guy. He's
Yep. He's gonna be in an early down.
And he's gonna come in and do exactly what he needs to do, which is help plug up some of those gaps. So I like it. I think that's another one I'll give a B.
Yeah. I think it's a great signing. Mainly because of what it does for everybody else. Like now Teair Tart moves and plays more 3 tech because of the fact that you already have a run stuffer or nose right there for you. And me personally, I like Teair Tart better as a 3 tech. Teair Tart's so explosive, and then you got 2 guys on early downs that can plug up holes. Like they're not going to get moved. They'll reset the line of scrimmage. So this signing is like this is a great signing. Like
Very similar.
this is what winning teams do. This is what teams that are close, they bring in guys that have a specific role on the team that will do it at a good to an elite level. And then that's that. To me, this signing, because of what it implies for everybody else, Tier Tart's more position versatile now. Dayon Henley doesn't have to have guys running all up on him at the linebacker position. He doesn't have to have guards pulling up on him, grabbing him up.
Yeah.
I think, to me, especially for the value, I think it's an A- for me.
Yeah.
Me personally, that's what I think about it.
Nah,
Then we'll move on. We'll move on to Mike McDaniel's guy, Alec Ingold. What we saying?
I mean, I have zero complaints about that signing. I mean, clearly he's been with Miami, he's been with McDaniel. McDaniel uses a fullback in his offense. It's not going to be a run scheme like Greg Roman, but it's still a hardball team. It's still a McDaniel. He's the head coach of the offense. We're going to be running that ball.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do. Wide zone. He's going like Ingold, when you pair him up with the signing of Charlie Kohler, that's it. I mean, it's kind of scary what they're going to be able to, or what they're trying to do in the run game. I think
Yeah.
they got all the perfect pieces. This to me, the biggest win is Hampton. I know he at home or whatever he's doing. I know he's teasing, man. He's him and another guy that we'll get to later, but man, I love it for what they're trying to do, man. You gotta be able to run the ball. No team is like, let's be honest. I know it's 2025, 2026. Everybody want to see, fireworks in the passing game, which is cool and all, but show me a team who wins and doesn't run the ball effectively. Like,
The Super Bowl MVP was a running back.
I'll wait. Like
The Super Bowl MVP was a running back, bro.
You got to be able to tote that rock.
You have to be able to run the ball, and to do that, most importantly, you have to be able to block.
Got to be able to,
right?
Yeah.
Like, Giants fans are very angry that they took Saquon Barkley, but Saquon Barkley was an elite talent. You guys couldn't block for shit.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to block, and you have to be able to run the ball. And we've got two guys in here that can help us with the blocking aspect of that. Alec Ingold, to me, and besides all the schematical stuff in terms of like what he can do on the field, like all these Charger players are learning a new offense. Alec Ingold is not. He's going to be working with the running backs, working with the tight ends. It will be such an easy transition besides coaches that he can implement the offense and help these young players with the offense. You know what I mean? So we needed a fullback to fit this system because Scott Matlock, I'm sorry, this system was not for you. Because what Ingold does, getting out in the pass game, getting out to the edges, that's just not what Scott Matlock is. So, it's another good signing, another B signing for me.
Yeah, overall, I got it at a B. I even give it a B plus. I think these are the type of guys that McDaniel would rather go out, and we'll get to. Not everybody's upset about not going out and getting a good guard, but we'll get to that in a second. I think he'd rather go and get kind of utility guys who block very well rather than guard play, and I think it's for a good reason. But like I said, we'll get to that in a second. Overall, it's a B plus for me.
Facts. Yep. Then we got Mr. Fireworks himself, Keaton Mitchell.
Boy,
what we saying?
I think this is my favorite one. This
Talk about it.
I think I texted you the minute I saw he got released. I think I sent it to you. I said, right now.
Yeah. He said he needs to sign right now.
Right now, go get him right now. And that's exactly
100%.
That's exactly what they did, man. It's a lot of different directions. I can go with this signing. I could talk about it for a long time, but
You for sure. You said now.
now,
Now.
I
I
mean,
hear it.
he's just he's explosive, man. I think he was kind of overshadowed in that Ravens offense by Lamar, who's a great ball carrier. Uh, Obviously Derrick Henry, and rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah.
I think even Justice Hill was getting some carries, and then
And he had
he
a few
missed for
injuries here
back.
and there.
Yeah, he had a MCL, PCL, something like that. Just had on sideline for some time. But man, before that, and even when he came back, man, it's a lot of explosion. It's a boy could tote the rock, man, and
Yeah.
I think that's exactly the kind of change of pace back that we needed, and that I hoped we went out and got. It honestly kind of blows my mind that the Ravens didn't try to keep him. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. So we've seen what McDaniel does with those little small, fast, speedy
Scott.
backs right
Hmm.
there, especially in a wide zone. That's like the perfect scheme for him. Dude can go 70, can go 80, and he averages like over 6 yards per carry or something crazy like that, man. The dude is he's just he's explosive. Again, perfect change of pace back with old. I don't know. The run game is looking scary. Looking scary.
Yeah.
So that's a A. Like I said, I could keep going on and on about him. Um, but that's a A. That's a A to me.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that I talked a lot about running backs because I just thought that I didn't think Kamani and O was enough in terms of like what we needed in that room. I feel like we needed a little bit something different in terms of somebody to give us something different on the offense. And I've been saying it for a long time, like not online because we just started, but I feel like everything on the Chargers offense is always so difficult. No easy big chunk plays because we were never explosive. We were never explosive. So now this is a guy that you can, Mike McDaniel's a wizard. He'll design something kind of similar to A-Chain, right? Get him out in space, and all of a sudden it's 20, 30, 40 yards. The only negative I have with him is that we're not going to ask him to pass protect. So when he's in on certain downs, third downs, whatever the case may be, he ain't. I don't think he gonna block nobody. He gonna try, but you got linebackers that are only getting bigger and bigger. They gonna run through his ass. You know, physics is physics. But at the same time, I guarantee you, this guy is going to have key explosive plays for us during the year. And it's not like he's going to be in a similar role to what he was in Baltimore. He's not going to need to be the guy. He's not going to touch the
Yeah,
ball 15 times a game. But when he's in there, defenses are going to know. And if they are not careful, it's going to be 60, 70 yards to the crib. And I just love how finally we're getting explosive on this offense. You know what I'm saying? So for me, and he provides return value. I don't think he does
does
punts, but I know he does
does
kicks.
kickoffs.
So he
Definitely.
does. So now he provides that. So for me, for the value it is, a signing for me.
Yeah, man.
For the value it is.
I think yeah, again, like you said, for the value, for the price we got him at, I think it was like 2 for 12 or something like that. It's
Yep. Two for 9.5, 5 guaranteed.
gosh, it's even better. I
Yeah, you
mean,
know what I
now
mean?
you got that's a to me that running back room is set. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got, and then you got a number three. I don't even know that he. I mean, he might be competing. They might have brought him in to compete with Vidal, but I can almost guarantee you Mitchell's gonna be getting more carries than him. But
Mitchell is going to have a specific role in the team. That's maybe Vidal's going to take some, obviously, some of the inside handoffs and some of the, the grunt work. but Mitchell will have a specialized weapon role in the team.
Yeah, which I think will in this offense he's gonna see the field more. Now, Vidal, he's he's like let's say he was a number 3. To me, it's they're both like kind of number 2s right now, but let's say he was a number 3. That's a great number 3. So,
Mhm.
if somebody goes down, knock on wood, but something like that happens, man. Like I said, that running back room is I'm happy with it. That's probably one of
Yeah.
the few position groups on the team that I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't complain about it at all. So yeah,
Yeah, I think offensively, we had a lot of starters already in place. We had a lot of starters already in place, so all we needed to do was add depth and value signings to the offense that brings that up a notch. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good signing for me. I think he's gonna have key explosive plays on this football team. So that's that. Now, moving on to the next signing that caused a lot of turmoil because of, I'm not saying he was expensive, but just because of what was out there and then what we decided to do. Guard Cole Strange. What we saying?
what I'm gonna say is Charger fans, y'all asked for McDaniel, and he's the head coach of the offense. This was his handpicked guy that he went out and got. Again, if we gonna ask for McDaniel, be happy that we got him. We got to be okay with the decision he made. Now, do I think there were other guards out there that we could have went and got? Yeah, sure, absolutely, especially with the amount of cap space we have. But but y'all going off of I'm seeing too many people on Twitter or X now going off of just PFF grades, and it's like, come on, like, is that all we going off of? That's clearly McDaniel went and handpicked this guy for a reason. People are saying he doesn't value guards as much. That may be true, but he valued that guy enough to go and get him on the second or third day of free agency.
Yep.
So I'm not sitting here and jumping on the table for the dude and saying like this is a good signing and everything. But what I am saying is y'all gotta hold y'all horses a little bit. People are losing their minds about this signing, and it's kind of crazy. The only thing they have to
Mhm.
go off of, I could guarantee you, a lot of these people are not watching film. It's just looking at
Yeah.
PFF grades, and that's all. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think y'all got to have a little patience with this one and just see how it works out. Uh, it's not the worst signing in the world to be honest with you. Like it's just a let's see. Hopefully it
Yeah.
works out. I'm sure they're gonna go get in guard in a draft. So overall, man, I'll say I'll just give it a C. I mean, it's about to depth, or it might not be depth. It might be he might be a starter, but
I think he's starting.
yeah, I think they paid him starting money, and I think they maybe saw the deal they were able to get him on, and was like, yeah, let's get that spot filled up. But yeah, man, see, let's just wait and see what happens. I'm not gonna panic over it.
Me personally, with all the names that was out there and the money that some of them went for and things of that nature, it's a little bit of a head scratcher. But at the same time, when you sit back and look at it, Mike McDaniel, like he was in Miami with Mike McDaniel, right? So if Mike McDaniel thought he's ass, he would not bring him over
All
here.
I'm saying, like, what's
He wouldn't have brought him over here. Now, am I ecstatic about Cole Strange starting at guard for me? Not exactly.
right?
Not exactly. But at the same time, when I deep it, if we, like you said, if we want to, jump on tables and raise the roof and talk about Super Bowls because we signed McDaniel, well, this is what he wants to do.
It's what he's giving us. So
This is what he wants to do. And so he somehow got Jim Harbaugh on board with this because Jim Harbaugh talks about offensive linemen as weapons, and he talks about, the tip of the spear and protecting Justin Herbert and all the quirky bullshit he be talking about, right? So somehow Mike Daniel like got Jim Harbaugh on board with this, right?
Yeah.
Especially after what Jim saw the quarterback go through last year. So me personally, like you said, it's a wait and see. Now, what one of my problems is, you know, let's not assume, but most likely Mike McDaniel is going to be a one and done at OC. So if we're talking about future and squad building and everything like that,
Yeah.
why give him so much control if a year from now he will be most likely coaching another team?
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope for me.
Yeah. I mean, it is a slippery slope because I'm sure when they negotiated bringing McDaniel over, Harbaugh kind of like agreed to give him
The
control,
reins. Yeah.
let him be the head coach of the offense. So it's kind of tough, but at the same time, I 110% agree with you. If they have a good year, which I'm sure they will on offense, I mean, he'll most likely be gone. Yeah, it's tough, man. I think I think when people say that, he doesn't value the guard position much, I wouldn't even say that that's the case. I think if you go back and watch the Dolphins offense, like watch that film, it isn't like a traditional drop back, like how, you know, we were dealing with Greg Roman, play action on 14th. Like it's not gonna be a lot of that where, they're putting heavy responsibility and, it's do or die on the guard position. It's a lot of it is RPO, it's quick, it's quick reads, it's
Yeah.
like it's honestly I wouldn't say he doesn't value it, but you don't need the best guard in the league. I think if he's more tackle oriented and we have two elite ones. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It really is just kind of a wait and see uh signing to me, but I'm with you on he's most likely only going to be here for 1 year, and I think that's why we do go guard at some point in the draft because now you have a good guard, two elite tackles, a good center. Now you really only got to figure out, and maybe one of these guys will end up being all right. Cole Strange, he might end up being okay. He could
Yeah.
have gotten better. Like he's not. Um, and then you got
Like former first round pick, former first round pick. He
oh,
ain't he
yeah,
ain't no slouch. I mean, obviously, first round picks bust sometimes, but former first round pick at bare minimum.
right. There's always upside, clearly. And then you got I mean, Penny who he resigns. I'm sure we'll get in later, but I mean, again, I think people are kind of overreacting. I'm gonna be honest, but I can understand why when the last two playoff games we lost were due to interior line problems.
Yeah.
But I'm confident in saying that that's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Not in this game.
Yeah. I feel like, as Charger fans, there's a lot of PTSD on what happened the last 2 years. We watched our interior offensive linemen just get absolutely just whooped, you know. Not signing somebody that is elite. You know what I mean? And it's, to be honest, it's free agency, right? Free agency, they left their team for a reason. Every free agent has their holes, right? So the coaching can prevail, and like you said, the offense is a lot of quick stuff, a lot of quick reads, a lot of RPOs. It's not traditional 5, 7 step drops where, you know, the three tech or the nose or whoever has time to get to the quarterback. When we look at it last year, Mike McDaniel, especially the first half of the year, I believe, Jonah Savanaia, I believe that's how you say his name. He was awful, like genuinely awful.
I mean, let's put it this way: he's never really had a good O line there. Like
Facts.
it's and Tua, there was one year. There's a reason why one year Tua had that crazy really good year because Tua's not good, but but clearly the scheme he was in caused them to have a good. It's a quarterback friendly offense. You know, I'm not saying you don't need to have any good O linemen. That's not what I'm saying, but again, it's like you said, it's not going to be the traditional 5, 7 step drop back, and he's just not. It's a lot of move in the pocket. It's a lot of play action boosts, which Roman honestly didn't. That's just not his style. He didn't do that. So, which is what you're supposed to do when you have that type of that interior line play. You got to move the pocket more. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so
It's definitely a wait and see signing for me. Just like the whole offseason is. We'll get into it later. The whole offseason is a wait and see signing or a wait and see type of thing. And, especially me personally, I think I jumped the gun a little bit in terms of what I expected us to do. Because of the fact that, I forgot who ran our football team and I forgot how they want to operate. Looking back on it, obviously hindsight's 2020, but two seasons in a row we have decent cap and they ain't going out and signing big fish. That's not what they're gonna do. So, and this is what they're gonna do. They're going to get guys that don't count against the cap formula, try to get comp picks or a comp formula and try to get comp picks, which in the now could be incredibly frustrating because those comp picks are next year. The comp picks aren't this year, obviously. So as of right now, it sucks because we're not seeing those comp picks right now, and we want to win this season coming up. But in terms of squad building, it makes sense. However, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to win a Super Bowl because, like I said at the beginning, this franchise, this fan base is starving. We're starving. We're starving. So, like I said, it's a C signing for me. Wait and see. Now, the guys that we brought back, right? Khalil Mack, 1 year, 18, fully guaranteed. Hey,
they could bring him back 50. No, I'm not gonna say that, but they could continue to bring him back every year, and you won't hear a peep out of me. That boy is still balling. So
yeah.
nope,
They can bring him back next year. They can bring him back
they
next
can
year.
bring him
And if
back
he and
next
if
year.
he down, Khalil Mack is not only you can just tell his impact on the locker room just by the media you see and then on the field you can see it too. So and he's still playing at a high level. So
I mean, I'm glad some people are complaining about the amount we paid him, but I'm honestly glad they took care of him. That's signs of a good franchise when somebody like that who everybody likes in the front office, and he may be a little bit older, but again, he has a big impact on the team and he's still producing. Just get a man what he wants. He's not asking for 30 million.
yeah, he ain't asking for Myles Garrett money. Give him what he wants, take care of him. He obviously wants to be here. He could have went ring chasing, bro. He could have went
100%.
Philly, could have went Seattle. He could have did whatever. He chose to come back here. He believes in what we got going on. Take care of him. He's still playing at a high level, still producing on the field. Take care of him. I ain't got no problem with that. Hometown hero, Tony Jefferson. Brought him back.
TJF, man. Huh.
Unc,
Oh, man.
big Unc.
Listen, man, I was waiting on that signing every day. Like, when are they gonna get this done? Um,
Yeah.
man, I'm just so glad they brought him back. I didn't care. And it was almost like, bro, whatever he wants to give it to him. That's almost the same situation as Khalil Mack. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite. Um, Safety room is I wouldn't say it's young, but there's some young guys in there. I think Williamson,
Mhm.
obviously he's a lot older than Molden. Derwin James is a vet, but he's not young. Um, so
And
he has an
Lincoln's in there as
impact.
well.
He has an impact on that room, and the dude is balling. Like he's
Simple.
he yeah, simple. He showed up last year, and he every time he gets on the field, he makes plays. So man, just the whole time I'm like, "Bro, just get it done. Get it out the way. Get it over with. What are we waiting on?"
Yeah.
And that's an A
Yeah.
sign for me.
Yeah. Like you said, bro, like he's the reason why Alohi Gilman got traded, in my opinion. Right? He comes in balling. And then also set toner. He sets the tone, bro. How many times Tony's flying up, taking somebody's head off, bro? You know what I
He'll fuck
mean?
it up
So
and let you know too.
get up and talk that noise. You need that on defense, bro. You need your defensive guys to be kamikaze, be crazy.
Yeah,
That's what you need. So I think it's a perfect. I think you had to bring him back. If you didn't bring him back, you cause another hole in your team. Now, with that being said, this safety class is flipping good, bro. It is good. Now, I do think later on in the draft, because I know we have 5 picks right now. There's no way in hell we're ending the draft with 5 picks. No shot.
can't
So
can't.
I think at some point in this draft later, you take a developmental guy, stash him for a year, whatever the case may be, and like a succession plan for Tony. Molden's contract is coming up soon as well. So I think for future squad planning, I think you dip into the safety class. The safety class is too good, too talented at all points of the draft, rounds 1 through 4 or 5. Um, you dip in there, you get a succession plan. But bringing Tony Jefferson back was a priority, straight up, straight up.
100%.
Um, we talked about Tierra Tart before. Had to, had to. Just it's that simple. Moving on to Trey Pipkins. Trey Pipkins, 2 years, 10 M's.
Oh man. I mean, Trey been with the Bulls for a minute, right?
Yeah.
He's obviously not gonna be a starter. He's just a swing um backup guy. Now I wouldn't necessarily say I'm happy or I'm no I wouldn't necessarily say I'm happy with the signing, but I'm not necessarily mad at it. I mean, you had to go get a swing tackle somewhere. Bringing back your own guy is never a terrible decision. Now, he wasn't very good last year. I understand that. Um,
But
and I think some fans,
nobody was.
nobody was. I think some fans are upset that maybe we chose him over Jamari Salyer. So I understand. I don't know, man. I think again, not happy with the signing, not upset with it. I think it was just something that's a good value play for them. Had to keep some depth around. I mean, familiarity. They have to go get an external guy to be a swing tackle. Um, I guess I want to say wait and see, but I mean we've seen what he does. But let's wait and see what he does in a new offense. Hopefully, we shouldn't have to see him out there too much because that would mean
Mhm.
people are getting hurt. Um, Another C for me. Just
Yeah.
kind of indifferent about it, to be honest.
To be honest, I don't think it's a signing people should be getting angry over. Like for like you said, it's a swing tackle. And me personally, we need a insurance plan in terms of Rashawn Slater's been hurt a good amount of his career. Knock on wood, hopefully he doesn't get hurt again. Right. So having a swing tackle with the experience that Trey Pipkins has, because he's had to play a lot due to injuries to starters, or he started a couple seasons at right tackle, if I'm not mistaken. So having a guy with that much experience, he knows he's been with us 6 years now, 5 years now, something like that. So it's not that deep. You need depth for obvious reasons. Now, you know, people need to understand that if you are relying on your backup tackles and your backup offensive linemen, you're pretty much you're fucked to begin with. If to keep it short and simple, you're fucked. So having him with that much experience and everything like that is fine for me. If he needs to come in a pinch for 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, it is like we can do that. It's when he has to come in for the remainder of the season, and then it's like, all right,
Knock on wood.
yeah,
And that's
knock on
not a knock
wood. So
against Trey Pipkins. It's just, I mean, that's not our starters, and we don't win.
it's not our starter.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not angry with it at all. It is what it is. You need depth. You have to have depth. And then we brought back Delshon Phillips.
no, he a
That we needed that.
dog on the STs. That's a good re-sign in my opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
he's showing flashes at backer. Like, hold on now.
100
So
100%.
again, you get another special team dog, and you get somebody who might be able to come in and compete for, you know, a rotational backer position.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a beat for me.
Yeah. 100%. Like, he's all pro on specials. And as Chargers fans, you should understand how important special teams is. We lost some very big games due to special team. All pro on specials. And then when Denzel Perryman got suspended stupidly by the NFL for some stupidness, he came in and showed great flashes in the run game, bro. He's a see ball, get ball kind of guy. And in the Denver game, he showed flashes again when we were resting our starters and that. So you need guys like this on the team. It's simple. The Patriots had special teams legends for God knows how long. You need these kind of guys. And then, like you said, he's showing flashes at linebacker, so you need that. It's a brilliant signing. Well, it's great keeping him on the team. Then next is another linebacker, Denzel Perryman. Obviously, he didn't sign a huge deal, but similar to Delshon Phillips, not on special teams, obviously, but a guy that plays the run game like an absolute madman. Like similar to Tony Jefferson, a veteran on the team, leader on the team, and he sets a tone. You know Denzel Perryman's out on that field because he is tearing people up.
Listen, I don't want to hear nobody complain about that sign. That's another same as Mac and Tony. He's been with us since the San Diego Chargers days, so
He's the last one, bro.
he's the last
Unless we
one.
bring Keenan back, he's the last one.
I mean, yeah, the dude is. We needed that, man. He's in the run game, and again, like you said, tone center. He's gonna come up and lay that wood. He'll come up. Yeah, I'm happy with that one, man. B plus, A minus. I mean, I like it. I love it.
Facts. And then the last guy we brought back was Trey Lance. You need a backup quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing to talk
doesn't
about.
make any difference to me. It doesn't make any difference to me. We obviously know who our quarterback is, and if he's not playing, it's over with.
Yeah, another one
So
as well was Trevor Penning that we didn't talk about.
yes, bringing back Trevor Penning, another guy with versatility,
Yeah, I
a
think a
guy
lot of
that
this. I mean, a lot of Charger fans were mad about that one, but you got him on. I mean, you signed him for how much at
pennies.
all, and you have him for versatility. I think they got him for guard. He's much better at guard, and I think that's what a lot of people are kind of forgetting. When he was with the Saints last year, he's a lot better at guard. And even when we traded for him, we kind of had to play him at tackle. That's obviously not best at tackle. He's just much
Mhm.
more comfortable at guard, and I think that's what he'll be kind of competing for. And then if all hell breaks loose again, knock on wood, we need to kick him out to tackle it. At least it's not. I don't expect it to be good, but at least
But
he
at least he's
has.
played there
At
before.
least he's played there before. So I don't know. I'm not as upset at that signing, man. Uh,
I have a not a soft spot, but you know, I have room or I have time for guys that set tone. And Trevor Penning is an
He's
asshole.
an asshole.
He's an asshole. So I love that kind of stuff, especially at the offensive line. He's gonna dump you. So hey, bro, we need to be a physical football team, and that's what he provides. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Is there any more? Is that it?
Think other than Kamani and Kendall Williamson, I think we signed
Kendall Williamson, the safety, special teamer.
young guy,
Yeah,
showed some good things in preseason special teams. Bring him back, see how he develops. Monty, I mean, obviously it was Kamani last year, great depth. So I don't know, man. I think is that it? Think overall, again, I'm not upset with free agency with what we did. I think for the most part, we made the right moves. A few were kind of just wait and sees, like we said throughout the video. But I think my only thing against free agency was I felt like we could have did a little bit more. Now there were little peeps um, of us going out and trying to pay Alec Pierce and Rashid Shaheed. I heard we made offers for both.
Mike
So
Evans.
Mike Evans. So it's not like um, we didn't try. I think that I think Rashid and Alec Pierce stay with their teams, which is fair. Um, I think McDaniel does that kind of signals to me that at some point we are going to make a move for, especially with all this cap space we still got, we're going to make a move for a receiver, explosive receiver like that. Because what Alec Pierce was about to get paid, and for us to even make an offer, and I heard we made a competitive offer. Same with Rashid Shaheed. I heard we made an offer more than the Seahawks. Now, I don't know if all that's true. I'm not saying it is, but if it is, it seemed like it came from some pretty reputable sources from what I was seeing. And if it is, man, that tells me everything I need to know about where they're at with trying to add somebody explosive to the wide receiver room. Um, and I think at some point, whether it's the draft or a trade after the draft, I think we do look at doing that.
Yeah, I think this team. This might sound like some type of dark theory or something, but I do think they throw a lot of smoke screens out there, and you know, for me, obviously Rashid and Alec Pierce stayed with their respective teams, and fair enough. But you're telling, and then also we were involved with Mike Evans, apparently, allegedly. You're telling me like you go out and try to get three guys, and all of them said no, especially with the situation we have going on right now, and obviously like Alec Pierce situation makes a whole lot of sense. Rashid Shaheed situation makes a whole lot of sense. Alec Pierce had the year of his life, right? Rashishi just won a Super Bowl. That's a good team. And then Mike Evans went to San Francisco, so because there's an obvious receiver need over there. So all the situations make sense. I'm just, I'm just like, there's something at the moment that hasn't happened yet that I think is happening.
I believe so.
Because, as the saying goes, if there's smoke, there's fire, right? And we have over 50 million in cap space right now. And there's not a whole bunch, and there's not any guys in free agency right now that you're going to go pay crazy money to, right? So, and I find it extremely hard to believe that you are gonna go into the season with 50 plus million in cap.
Yeah.
Well, after the draft, it'd be a little less, but at the same, that's just not going to happen. I refuse to believe that. And then when we look at the contracts of the guys we signed, Bjadic's contract is a $4 million cap hit for this year.
We backloaded
Why?
almost every.
We backloaded. Tier Tarts is backloaded too. Why? Like, there has to be something, and I think it will happen after the draft because of the fact we only have 5 picks. So we're not going to trade any picks right now. I think after the draft is when we're going to make a trade with somebody. Maybe QJ's involved. I don't necessarily think it has to be receiver in terms of we have a whole lot of edge.
I think it
Might be an edge
I was about
player.
to say, I think it's either going to be edge or a receiver.
Could be corner.
It could,
Yeah.
but I think edge or receiver. I think that's the two that they'll make a trade for. I think somebody maybe like Kayvon Thibodeau is somebody that has kind of been linked to Chargers for a long time, and it makes sense honestly for both sides.
Yeah.
Receiver, obviously, AJ Brown's name is floating out there.
You could throw a Garrett Wilson in there.
Garrett Wilson, like
You could throw a Marv in there.
there's guys.
Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas, who I love. So there's guys out there. I mean, you just got to get creative now. It's again, we only have 5 picks in the draft. I think that's the part where it's kind of like they have to be patient now. And you can't go forward. I mean, that would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
so you got to find, if anything, you got to find a way to get more in the draft. And realistically, I think that the only way to do that is trading back in the draft, or if I've heard a lot of rumors about Jawan Jennings. Maybe they'll go out and sign a Jawan Jennings and maybe look at trading the QJ to get more picks, but I wouldn't necessarily be the biggest fan of that.
Me neither.
But that's obviously a route you can go down. So there's ways to do it. Again, you just gotta get creative.
Yeah. Like you said, you got to get creative with it. And we're not going to go down to 4 or 3 picks in the draft. So now as fans, we got to get patient because my whole tone will change if after the draft, where we go into camp, whatever the case may be, and we're going in to this season with this roster in terms of just adding draft picks. There's something that has to be happening because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes 0 sense. I don't understand how you have all this money and you want to win football games, and in free agency, I'm sorry, that's how it works. You got to pay people. It is what it is. So it definitely has to be something after the draft or during the draft that's cooking. And at the moment, we have pigeonholed ourselves into, in the first round or the first 2 rounds, now that free agency is over, or not over, but now that, we did what we wanted to do out first. There's only two positions that I can see us drafting, and it's guard or edge.
Right.
It's guard or edge.
And I think another thing I think that people should keep in mind is, obviously we're big on the comp picks, and that could be frustrating for fans because, like we were talking about earlier, like we want to win now, and the comp picks aren't till next year. Like we haven't even gotten through this year's draft. If you look at it, it's not. It still can be a win now move because now you go into off season knowing that you'll get a comp pick or two. I think right now it's only one, but who is guaranteed one basically almost for Odafe Owe as long as we don't go out and sign, somebody expensive.
Signed David Njoku for 42 M's.
Right. So you go into next year's off season knowing that you have an extra picks. Maybe you do look at trading a pick this year or this summer, um, for a guy who can come in and contribute now. So it's
Yeah,
not
like
always, it kind of just gives the team more flexibility. It's not always a year or two, you know, plan. Now it very much could be, probably is, but like I said, there's ways to get creative, and I think that they're just being patient and trying to explore those right now. So we're 2 weeks into free agency, not even, and people are losing their minds. I think people just gotta chill out a little bit, man. Just relax. Let time do its thing.
yeah, like you can if we're still on the same trajectory in August, then you can lose your head
Right.
because you know
That's basically it.
it doesn't make sense. But right now, you know, right now we can cool it right now. However, we do have a little bit of PTSD because last year we did some similar things and we saw how it worked. There's a lot of things that go into there. Obviously, our coaching wasn't great last year on the offensive side of the ball from from every level, offensive line, OC, all that. So now, hopefully, that's changed. Hopefully, we got that fixed. It makes sense that after the draft, you would make some type of move. For example, you go and offer a team a third round pick for somebody because you got the comp third round coming in. So theoretically, you don't lose too much, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I do think, with all, like I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. At some point, we will see a new wide receiver walk in this door. Because I still don't think we have a significant gadget toy that McDaniel kind of likes. Like in Miami, he had the two demons, obviously,
Yeah.
and then he had A-Chain in the backfield. It was just explosive. I still think we need some type of situation like that. Now, can we get that in the draft? Sure, and then we trade for another player, whatever the case may be. But something is happening in the off season because there's no way in hell we're just gonna sit on all this cap and we backloaded all these contracts for no reason. There's just I don't buy it.
Yeah, they clearly want the flexibility to do something if something comes up. Uh, But I'll say this about the receiver room. I kind of feel like people are starting to forget how good Lad is just because of recent
Mm-hmm.
bias. I think people are
Mm-hmm.
kind of uh, just because of a down year, which I mean he was probably in the worst possible scheme for his skill set,
Yep.
and he was still solid. Like he wasn't bad. Um, And then we forget about his rookie year, which was really good. So I don't know. I think people are kind of just uh forgetting how good he is. Now, do I think he could be like one of those? tier one wide receiver ones in the league? Probably not, but I think he could be a solid wide receiver one. Now, I think he would be an amazing wide receiver too. I think he'd be competing with, T. Higgins for
Yeah.
Smitty for one of the best wide receiver two options in the league. So I think maybe that's why it's like, okay, if you do have the opportunity to go get an alpha at wide receiver when you do it, it's pairing him with Lad and Trey Harris and KLS on the come up. That's now that kind of gets scary right there.
Yep.
So yeah, I think people are forgetting how good he is. But I mean, we'll see, man. I understand the recency bias thing, but all I'm asking
Yeah.
fans to do is just relax, man. Take a deep breath, and just let things play out.
Yeah. And like you said, Lad is we saw what the volume he can handle as a rookie, right? We saw that. Last year was an accumulation of a lot of nonsense going on, bro. Obviously, we couldn't protect. Quarterback getting dumped on his head. Couldn't run the ball. Everybody's injured. Like last year was just what it was, bro. We were never going to do anything of significance with what we had going on. Lad is going to have a come up this year, bro. He is. And then it's only going to be even better if you get a bona fide stud across from him, and then you have Trey Harris there as well. Now, like I said, I love Cugin. I love what he's done for the team. I don't necessarily think that his fit is clean with this system and this scheme and what his skill sets are, because it doesn't interfere with Lad, but
It's not
we
complimentary.
it's not very complimentary. Like we need you to take the top off a little bit. We need somebody to take the top off. Somebody run some, you know, win some jump balls on the sideline and things of that nature. And that's just not what he does. I love when Loud works the underneath stuff, works the middle of the field. And we need a guy that can be dominant on the outside. That's why I'm saying you go look at all these outside receivers like a Marv, and John or Jim loved Marv in the draft. Obviously the connections and all that good stuff. The Chargers reportedly loved Marv and loved Brian Thomas Jr. in the draft. So now that they are available for the right price,
And
you
I
get one of those guys,
yeah,
and now we're cooking.
and I think you'll be able to do it, man. I think even for Marv, you can get. He might be cheaper than what y'all think, bro. I think BTJ.
He might be a second, bro. Marv, he might be a second.
He might, yeah. And I think you do that 2027 second. Because I'm not gonna lie, Marv would be good. He would be good on a team like this. I haven't given up on him yet. He still shows
Mhm.
flashes, still has good games. I think sometimes with people like that, they just need a change of scenery, and that kind of,
Fresh start, yeah.
that kind of helps. BTJ, they're kind of being stingy with him. I think they're gonna
Oh
try to
yeah.
ask for a lot, and nobody's gonna give it to him. So they could do that, but I think eventually they'll come down on the price for him. But
How,
that's
what you
somebody I
think?
love too. I would love that.
What you think about Garrett Wilson has played for the Jets. It's going. Looks like it's year 5 has to be 4, something like that. They're awful. Like is they're awful. Like he cannot want to be there.
I I don't think that. I think he's the best one out of everybody we just mentioned. He would clearly be the best one. I think he's still a top 10 wide receiver in the league now, n- possibly even higher. But I don't think they want to give him up. Now he may have to. He's gonna have to force his way out of there. Like he's gonna have to demand a trade. Because obviously the Jets are they're what they are.
Like they're just
Uh,
never been competitive. As long as he's been there, like
yeah. And I feel like at some point, a receiver who's his career is kind of going to waste over there. He's way too good for that. Way too
Hmm.
talented for that. So I could see that, maybe being a little option too. It's kind of why I hope they kind of um hold their horses on Juwan Jennings. Like, uh, if you get him for cheap, there's a reason why he hasn't been signed yet. He's a solid receiver,
Hmm.
but he's clearly asking for something that teams aren't willing to give him. So if he
Yeah.
eventually comes down, you're able to get him in that, 12 or 15, maybe. I think he'd help the team. But so like after the draft, there might be some receivers calling on that front office like, "Hey, look, get me out of here."
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think there'll be some guys available that's not named AJ Brown.
Yeah. Me personally, after looking at the Jalen Waddle trade, I'm just like AJ Brown's market at the moment. It's it might be up there, bro. And yeah, Waddle's, I believe he's younger and all that good stuff. But that's a lot. It was a
It
lot.
is. It
It
is.
was a
But like
lot.
somebody like, because Michael Pittman went what? Was he a first rounder, second rounder?
No, second. I believe second.
Second. Okay. So Michael Pittman went for a six. And like when I saw that, I'm like, I think it might even have been a seventh. I gotta double check. But they did send a pick back. It was a pick swap, sixth and seventh. So it was either a sixth or a seventh. But I saw that. I'm like, that's it?
Yeah. And Michael Pittman's not Jerry Rice, but he
No,
he ain't
I'm not
he's
saying
ain't no
he's not
slouch.
great. Yeah, but a solid he's a good receiver in my opinion. So like, yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, man, it might be some guys if that's the price for
Yeah, he
that.
get
But then, yeah, then you like you said, when I saw
a six
Waddle,
round pick.
yeah,
A 6 round pick
so
for him,
I'll
bro.
pick
That's what I'm saying. The receiver market is it's a
weird
strange
and
market, bro. It's
weird,
a
bro.
strange market. You can get a good player. You can get a good player for, you know, a good amount of money, or not that deep. We just have a lot of money or a lot of cap to take on a big contract if we wanted to. You know what I mean?
I
You
think they
know,
might try and extend Thule, which I kind of prefer that they waited to do that. They do until
hmm
next year. Think at some point you got to extend Derwin. So some of that could be like factoring that in. Sure, it is. Even still, like, still got a lot of cap space, man. And they keep talking about we're committed to helping Justin Herbert win now. So
I haven't seen
let's
it,
see
bro.
it. Let's see it, man.
I
'Cause
haven't seen it.
I've yet
Obviously,
to see it.
obviously we've you know put some draft capital in the receiver room and everything. 2 second round picks that are have really good upside. Ladd is a really good football player. I love what I saw from Trey Harris last year. But I think right now we have the flexibility to bring in somebody.
Gotta go get you a guy.
You have to go get you a guy, bro. And Justin Herbert has never had a bona fide receiver that somebody looked at, but like, damn, he's a top 5. Damn, you know what I mean? Keenan Allen was amazing. Don't get me wrong, he's amazing. But like, you see what these other quarterbacks have, bro. Look at Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's top 3 right now. He's top 3 right now. Your boy in Cincinnati has 2 top 10 receivers. 2.
Having a guy like that, man, like, because look at the Seahawks, man. They didn't. All these people come complaining about, bad guard play. They had a terrible guard. They didn't have
Oh, the
great.
buddy at right guard, yeah, he was
Yeah.
not great.
So I mean, but they had I mean, everything else, they had a good back, which I believe we have. We have a better quarterback, but they have a number one receiver that's a guy. I'm not asking for you to go out and get JSN. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying at least go get you finna somebody who's a clear wide receiver one
Mhm.
and is consistently that. Again, I think Lad can be, but I think he fit wise, I think he'd be better as a wide receiver too, kind of working, like you said, the underneath and the intermediate. That's just kind of his thing. He's really good at that. So yeah, man, you got to go do it at some point. So
Like at some point, bro, because like in my opinion, our window is closing. Like, yeah, we're young in some spots, but Khalil Mack is not going to play forever. Derwin James is not going to play forever. You know what I mean?
the window, they got to try to win now.
Like you have to try to win now. If not, then what are we doing? Like what are we doing out here, bro? Like if we were healthy last year, I know ifs, buts, and maybes, but if we were healthy last year, we could have made a good run. So now that assuming that and hoping that you don't have an injury crisis like you did last year, and everybody around you is getting stronger. Now, I'm not saying we haven't. I think we have as well with the coaching and everything else. But and yeah, like the Raiders making sexy signings and Denver's making sexy trades and all that. Kansas City's making
Raiders,
sexy signings and all that. But hey, the Raiders, bro. Yeah, we'll see.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they gotta show me.
yeah, I gotta see.
You gotta show me. Cause hey, Fernando needs to show me first. I'm not saying he's bad, but he need to show me. He need to show me a little something.
He needs to
Because
show,
I'll be
but he
damned.
needs to show me. I understand the the Broncos are a good team, but I am not a believer. I am not. You could say that I'm the opposite. So,
Yeah, like
um,
I don't I don't think Bo Nix is cheeks, but at the same time, he ain't what y'all think he is.
I don't think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't. It's just he's an average quarterback to me.
Yeah, you can tell the way Sean Payton calls certain things and runs certain things. Eh,
Yeah,
you know,
he
some
does get the now. Sean Payton does get the best out of him, I believe. Like if he
for
calls the right
sure.
things, he makes it easier for him. And that's why another reason why they went out and just got Waddle.
hmm
That boy got no excuses now. I
He
better
got no excuses now. You
no.
know, they out here getting Jalen Waddle and us fans expect Justin Herbert just to be out here, 39-year-old Keenan Allen. Like, come on, bro. Will Disley and them, man. Like, like you said, I ain't a believer.
Believe it.
I'm not a believer, bro.
Think
And
at some point, or at least go trade. If you aren't going to go trade for a wide receiver, at least go trade for like a edge. Um, but again, after the draft, I think obviously if somebody's willing to do it before the draft and they're willing to take the 2027, then you do it because then you could go in this draft kind of going be able to take best player available, which I think they'll do
yeah,
anyways. Um, it's just we're kind of like best player available, but we're certain spots.
I just think in the draft at the moment, there's maybe you trade back in the second round, but there's just no way in the first round the prospects that I want are going to be there, if that makes sense. I know there's a lot of talk about Spencer Fano falling. There's no way in hell I think he falls. Same thing with TJ Parker. I think he goes before we think as well.
Think so.
So I do. I do. Now, with that being said, we say, oh, he's not gonna fall, he's not gonna fall. Somebody's falling.
Yeah.
that's just how the draft works. But I just think guys like Spencer Fano, guys like TJ Parker, because you watch TJ Parker's 2024 film. Same with Peter Woods. You watch the 2024 film. It's
It was a
amazing.
top 7.
Top 10 shit.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was just them. Everybody on Clemson had a bad year. Every single person. I don't know what happened over there, but is somebody. I just think at the moment we are trading back. We're trading back, and obviously it's easy to say that. Like somebody needs to trade, or to want to trade with you, in order for you to trade back. But there's just no way. There's no way that at the moment we stick and pick unless a blue chipper is there. That's for some reason.
At the end of the
And
day, man, like we said earlier, everything that it better work. It better work. That's my. You take anything from this episode, take that. That's how I feel. Whatever y'all doing, man, it better work. And Ortiz, this is your legacy year. You got to get creative. You got to get. If you do end up with just 5 picks, you better go 5 for 5. Man, he has to be amazing because right now we do have some holes, and there's not a lot of guys in free agency. We only had 5 picks. The only positive is you have cap space, and it's not like at least we're a good team. We're not a bad team. Uh, but if we're trying to win now, we're trying to make a run this year, it's not good enough. So you gotta not at the moment. So you gotta get creative now. That's just it is what it is now. I'm gonna have to see it
yeah,
work.
like you said, bro, this is the third off season with this GM and with this front office. Like you said, it better work because it's the third year in a row. We didn't necessarily sit on our hands, but it's the third year in a row where, and it could be as simple as some guys didn't want to come to the Chargers. They didn't want to come to California, income tax and all that. You don't like maybe that fair enough. But at the same time, when you are close, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fan, I actually think that we're close. When you're close in free agency, when you have this kind of money, you have to go out there and overpay. You have to. And when you think about it, is the Patriots were dog shit last year. They went into free agency, got themselves a great coach, and paid people.
Yeah.
Paid people. And they ended up in the Super Bowl. I'm just like, you have to take risks. And I think, I feel like we're too safe.
Yeah,
Like,
Frugal.
and obviously, like the last regime with Tom Telesco and everybody like that, like it didn't work out. Like we made a big splash with J.C. Jackson and all these guys, right? And it didn't work out. But at the same time, at least there's effort there. At least there's you're showing me something. Because we went into last season knowing the offensive line was still a little. We knew we ran it back. We ran the same offensive line back that got us whooped in the playoff game for the Texans, and we're surprised that the same interior offensive lineman got the ass whooped again.
Yeah.
That
was obvious, like
it's hard for me to understand.
better work now. Better work.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the teams here, right? I'm looking at the teams here, but I'm gonna go through the NFC first in terms of trade candidates, especially at receiver. Right, Dallas Cowboys they ain't trading us nobody.
Boy.
Nope, Pickens or CeeDee Lamb, nobody. Giants they ain't got no receivers to trade, and Malik Neighbors is not going anywhere. Obviously, the Eagles. You talk about AJ Brown. I don't think that's gonna happen, but
Yeah. I think he's going to the Patriots, but
yeah, I think he's going to the Patriots. The Commanders, Scary Terry, but like, what?
I mean
Are
that
we
could
really gonna
be
do that?
an option, but
That could be,
I'd
yeah,
prefer somebody kind of on a different timeline, younger.
yeah,
You know
same,
what I'm saying?
same. The Bears already traded DJ Moore, right? And they got 2 young guys that they really like. Not
Yeah,
happening.
they're not trading nobody.
Detroit, they got their guys. It's not happening. Green Bay, they got Christian Watson. Are we really gonna do that? I don't think so. He's already injured a lot.
You know what? I could see us kind
I could see us being interested.
of. I could see us being interested, bro.
I could see us being
That's the
interested,
crazy
but
part. But yeah, he's injured too much. But that would be nice. I'm not gonna lie. That would be
yeah,
nice if he was healthy,
yeah.
for the right price. But
And I know a certain group of Charger fans are gonna love this with the Vikings. They ain't trading a
it's not
shit.
happening.
It's not happening.
It's just not happening.
They fantasize about Justin Jefferson every day over there, bro. It's not happening. Atlanta ain't trading us Drake London, so we can forget about it. The Panthers, the only receiver they want to trade is Xavier Legette. And why would we do that? For what?
So,
Not interested. Olave just had a career year with the Saints. And I
they're definitely
honestly like the
paid.
Saints. I like what they're doing, bro. I think the
Yeah.
Saints will be all right.
Chris about to get paid, man.
Chris about to get paid, yeah. Tampa Bay, no. I don't know what they just drafted
Yeah, I see Booker.
Igbuka. They just drafted him, so I just no. The Cardinals, Marv. You know what, bro? I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I love Michael Wilson, bro. I think Michael Wilson's an incredible football player, bro.
Yeah.
Now, in his market, it's not gonna be astronomical, but there's a lot of mouths to feed over there, to be honest. I think he's a
I
good
think
football player.
they might do that, but depending on what the Cardinals, but they'll probably go defense. Yeah, they gotta go defense. And
The
I think they
Cardinals,
got number
yes.
3, I believe. They got the 3rd
The
pick.
Cardinals are probably going Arvell Reese or
They'll go
David Bailey,
David
Sonny
Bailey
Styles,
or
something like that.
yeah,
Because
they'll go
they need
defense.
Jesus over there.
But even still with the offense they got now, it's still a lot of mouths to feed.
Mm-hmm.
So for a team who's like they obviously know they're not about to do nothing this year. I think that's you look into maybe Michael Wilson or you look into Lamar to see what the price
Yeah,
tag is looking like.
I honestly do think that if we do trade, it will be somebody of the ilk of Michael Wilson or somebody like that. It won't be. I don't think we're gonna go like crazy in terms of like trading for a superstar. Me personally, I don't think that will happen. And I just don't think there's a whole bunch of superstars available besides AJ Brown and Garrett Wilson for the right price. And there's just not a lot of tradable guys. Like these teams aren't trading their star players away. I don't think. And there's not a whole bunch of edge rushers on the market either besides Thibodeau and Max Crosby. And the Raiders ain't giving us no damn Max Crosby. So
You never know who could become available after the draft, man. It's
yeah,
summer. That's the interesting part.
yeah. So with that being said, man, that's our reactions. A lot of things can as a date of recording. I'm not losing my head about off season, but it can change fairly quickly. It can change fairly quickly. So with that being said, I'm gonna wait till mini camps and all that stuff starts. Then I'm gonna give my honest reactions and see after that, see what's gonna happen. What you think?
I'm with you. Like I said earlier, man, I think people should just relax, take a deep breath. I think we made some good signings. Now, whether we did enough or not, you know, probably not considering the amount of money we had. But we're not even 2 weeks in, so let's um, see how the draft goes. Whatever happens in summer, man, happens, and then, like you said, that's when I'll give my honest reactions when it's looking like the roster is set. So until then, man, I'm just kind of let's see.
Well, that's another ep in the books. You know, hopefully people enjoy and we'll catch y'all on the flip.
Sir.